Hello everyone, this is Crazy Bear Gold with another training video. Today we're going to be covering Trade Skill Master, TSM for short. It is a World of Warcraft add-on for all players, not just gold makers. You can come see me at twitch.tv/crazybeargold or on YouTube at youtube.com/@crazybeargold. What is TSM? Simply put, it allows WoW players to spend more time playing and less time sitting doing tasks by automating and enhancing the current WoW interface. First, let me give you some ideas how you might use TSM. After a long day of questing, you come back to the capital city like Stormwind or Orgrimmar. Wouldn't it be nice if you could click a few buttons and your bags are cleaned out? That's called a mailing operation. Or maybe you need to get ready for raid night and you're running late. You have 1 minute to get your flask, heal pots, repair items, food, etc. It would be nice if you could click a few buttons and you have all the items you need. Better yet, it also gets rid of all the items you don't need. That's mail warehouse operations in conjunction with mailing. Or simply you want to put all your items on the auction house. That's called an auctioning operation. Or you're out in the world, you pick up a BOE item and you want to see if it's worth anything. You can do that with TSM out anywhere in the world. Those are tooltips. What is covered in this presentation? First, we'll talk about how to get TSM and how to install it. It takes less than 5 minutes. Next, we'll set up the TSM app helper. There's an app helper along with the add-on that pulls the prices for the auction house. Then you have to get into TSM and create a profile. We will understand the major interface components. Then we will go set up groups and their associated operations. We'll be doing 3. We'll be doing a keep group, a send to banker group, and then on the banker, we'll create an auction house operation. Seeing TSM magic in action. So first we have to talk about setting it up. So to do that, we're going to get out of here and we're going to go to a browser and we're just going to go to tradeskillmaster.com. It's very simple to get the software. You go to their main screen, scroll all the way to the bottom. On the bottom right is Install TSM. Click the Install TSM, and step 1 has your download links where you can download the software. You download it, you run the setup, and you've got it installed. It will take and bring up a TSM app helper. This is what mine looks like. Now, don't worry, yours won't have all this information. By default, it just has one region, either US or EU. First thing you want to do is you want to go in and tell it what realm or realms you're running on. Click on Settings, go here, pick your realms, and hit Add. Do that as many times as you like. When you're done, click Done. The next thing I recommend is the install is usually not completely up to date. So go over to the add-on versions, and under Trade Skill Master, you should see it's needs to be updated. Just double click on the red text and it will update that app and the app helper. You need these two, Trade Skill Master and TSM helper. That's it. You have got TSM installed. So let's go over to our character. Here's Crazy Bear Gold. He just installed the TSM application. Naturally, you do need to go to your add-ons and turn it on. So we go to add-ons, we scroll down to Trade Skill Master. Mine is already turned on, but you would turn it on just like you do any other application. If you type in /TSM in your chat window, it will bring up the TSM configuration. First thing I recommend is absolutely go into settings and create a profile for each of your characters. So I will come down here and I already have Crazy Bear Gold. Let me delete that. I want to go back to it would come up as default. So I'm going to delete this and we'll recreate it. I want it to be a completely blank profile. So I create Crazy Marigold. So tooltips is how you get information about the item. When you have a tooltip, anywhere you are, you can get information about the auction house. Let's take a quick look. If I bring up my bags and I mouse over an item, let's take this one. And so I'm going to zoom out on this so that we can see it. You can see the kinds of information that it has. It has what inventory you have. It has what it last sold at. It has what the vendor price is. Those are all pretty common. But look at this. It also tells us how many sell on a daily basis. We can also see what the current minimum buyout. And what average is the average over the last 7 days. So you get a wealth of information, and all that's available to you thanks to that application helper. So back to setting up. So these tooltips you can turn on and off. There's a whole bunch that I don't have turned on. You should go look at them and find out what's important to you. The next thing I would recommend is you go to macros. And in macros, I've already set this one up, but you would want to turn on the My Auctions Cancel button, Auctioning Post Cancel, scroll wheel up and down, and I use the Control key and then hit Update Macro. What that setting will do is it will allow us to use the mouse scroll key to post auctions and cancel. We'll see that later, but it's important to set up to begin with. The next thing we want to do is, this is my adventurer. He's out running around, and you can see after a day of playing, he has got a lot of stuff in his bags. Now I've got to get them cleaned out. Well, with TSM, it's super easy to do. We simply go in and create a group. This on the left side is your groups. On the right side is the items. We would create a new group, change the name to, we're going to say, Send to Banker. Hit enter. Make sure you hit the enter when you key in the name, otherwise it will forget it and go back to a new group. Now I want to say everything I want to send to my banker. Well, the only thing that I want to keep are things that I need for questing. So I'm going to go down and click everything except for my 2 heal pots, which is my Cave Dweller's Delight and my heal pot. Everything else, yep, send it off to the banker, let him deal with it. Okay, so we then click the add to add them to the group. Now, the stuff that we want to send to the banker, we do not, oh, I missed one. We'll click that one. The stuff that we send to the banker, we do not want to auction in, and we do not want to do what's called a warehouse operation. So we'll talk about those in a minute, but for now, all we have to do is go to the operations. So I clicked on operations, go to auctioning and say override. We're going to override it with nothing, which basically means don't do anything. And then we're going to come down to the warehousing and we're going to say override. Now, this is a mailing operation. We want to mail all this to our banker. So we would say override the parent, add more. We're going to create a new operation. We're going to rename it to Send to Banker. Make sure you hit that enter key. We're going to key in the banker's name. And that's it. My mailing operation is set up. Now if I go to the mailbox, come on, Crazy Bear, we're going to get rid of this junk. We open the mailbox, we take and hit groups, and we say mail to banker. Notice how everything in my bags is gone. Now I can go out. The only thing that's left is my heels right here. That's all I told it to keep. That's all it kept. The rest of these are quest items that are soulbound. That's all you have to do for your questing tunes. You just set up a mailing operation and you send it all away and let somebody else deal with it. So now let's flip over to our banker. It's just as easy to set up an auctioning operation. So here's our banker. He's sitting on top of the world, overlooking Stormwind, a beautiful sight to see. We're going to open the mailbox, get our items, and now we have to figure out how to auction it. A lot of things to auction, okay? So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to type in /TSM in the chat window. We're going to go to settings. We're going to take and create a profile for him. So we're going to call this CZY Bear Bank. We're going to change any tool settings we have. We're going to set the macros, make sure this is turned on, this is turned on, the up and down, and the control key. Hit the update macro, okay? We're going to go to groups. We're going to create a group just like we did for the mailing. We're going to say auction it. Now, the truth is you would not want to lump all of these things into one group. But for this demonstration, we're just going to put them all in the group, and we're just going to sell everything. You would typically want to break this out by, like if it's a transmog or a pet, you might have different formulas. You will see formulas in a minute. You might want to have groups for each of your crafters, whatever it is. You can set it up any way you want. But for now, we're just saying we want to get this on the auction house so we can start selling and having some gold. So I've selected all these. I'm going to hit add. Same thing here. I'm going to go to operations. Now, I want to do an auctioning, but we're going to come back. I do not want to mail this to anybody, okay? And I do not want to warehouse it. I come up to auctioning. I override, create a new auction, rename my auction, and I'm just going to say sell it. Go to posting. Now, the auction house is a last in, first out. That's the last person who posts the auction of an item is the first one to sell it. So if there are 10 people selling bismuth ore and you post yours and somebody comes in right behind you and posts theirs is going to sell before yours. So if you're selling material items, it makes no sense to post for 24 hours because most likely after 12 hours, that item is so far down in the stack that it's never going to sell anyway. So I changed this to 12. There are very few times I sell for more than 12. The only exceptions are BOEs and pets. Now, if I leave the default of post cap of 5, if I'm out gathering bismuth ore, it's going to take me a long time to sell my business ore at 5 at a time. I will typically up this to 2,000 for materials. Okay, we're going to skip down quite a few. Now, TSM comes with things that are called price sources. So you can use all kinds of different numbers for your calculations. For example, if you look at the tooltips, I can use any of the prices that you see there. Min buyout, recent value, market value, DB region, market value average, region sales average. Holy cow, it's okay. Take it one step at a time and you'll get through it. I like DB recent. DB recent says, what is the average over the last 7 days? So whatever that is, that's what I'm willing to sell it at. No, I'm not. Since these are mats, mats are usually going to sell a lot of them in a day. And people like to drive the price down, and then somebody comes in and buys up a whole huge stack. As a gold maker, I frequently buy my mats in stacks of 10,000. So why would I post something at the lowest price when most likely if I just get it at a reasonable price, then it's going to sell anyway? So I like DB recent times 1.2, which is 20% over the average price. Okay, if that's too high, I can always bump it down, but let's start there. Now, I know I'm posting above the minimum price, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to wait for it to sell. So I want to say post this item even at my minimum. So the default is don't post it if the price is below what I said. No, I want to post it at my minimum. My normal price is if there are none on the market, what are you willing to sell it for? So there's no items on there. That happens a lot with pets and BOEs. Well, I'm willing to sell it for the average times 5. I'm making that number up. Sounds good to me. What's the maximum I'm willing to sell it for? So somebody has come in and bought all the bismuth ore, and the price was 6, and now is set to 120. Well, what am I willing to say my maximum price? Do I want to undercut them? Yeah, I probably do. If they make it outrageous, I'm probably not going to do it. So to me, about 10 is probably a good number. You pick your number. How much gold do you want to make? So it says if the price is 6 on average, then I'm going to sell this item for 60 as my max price. With those 3 things, I'm done. I'm now ready to post. I get out of TSM. I go to the auction house. I'm using the Brutosaurus Auctionator. I go to TSM. I go to auctioning and I hit run post scan. Now, you will notice that there are a lot of invalid group items. The reason is I just installed TSM on this realm, so it hasn't had time to update the prices. Here are the ones that it was able to update, and so it's able to post them. Over time, these will go away and they will post. So for this demo, we're not going to worry about it. Okay. So if I scroll the mouse here in this window, it's going to scroll the window up and down. I want it to post these items by this using the scroll or the mouse scroll. Get outside the TSM window, off to the side, and start scrolling, and you will see it posting. When you set up a brand new group for the first time, you will get this error message. I don't know what it is. It doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't do anything. Just click done. It's okay. So here we go. We're scrolling. I'm posting all these auctions. Look how fast that is. My bags are getting cleaned out. Things are getting on the auction house. And just like that, I've posted all the auctions. I'm done. TSM can automate a lot of things. Imagine if you set up a TSM group, it's called warehousing, to go to your guild bank and pull out the mats you need for raid. It's just as easy. We won't show that in this demo, but it's just that easy. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you come back to our channel, to Twitch, and visit us. I do stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 7 to 10 and Tuesday, Thursday from 7 to 10 p.m. You can check Twitch schedule in case that changes. You can watch my other learning videos at youtube.com/@crazybeargoal. Y'all have a great day.